What is going on, guys? It is Snickel here, and today I have another update video for you guys, which is going to be fairly short because not much was done last week. Well, a lot was done, but trophy-wise, not much was done. Today is November 4th. I'm technically doing this for it's technically the 5th, but it's the week of November 4th, and I haven't really had too much going on, so if you've been paying attention to the uploads on the channel this week, you've seen that I've been uploading a lot of guides for Red Dead 2. I am working on a lot of things for Red Dead 2 that are related to the 100% completion, but not really to trophies. So I'm putting a lot of work in here in Red Dead 2 for a lot of things, a lot of unique guides that other people really aren't uploading. So yeah, it's kind of been my goal all week. You'll see that right here. Yesterday I actually just completed chapter 2. Now I know what you're thinking. Whoa, Snickel, come on, man. Just completed chapter 2. What are you doing? I was doing a lot of side stuff. I was doing all the missable stuff that I could do. I was doing all of, basically everything that I could do, just challenges, everything. And then I kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, I've done the missables, I've done everything. It'd be nice to unlock the whole map so that like I'm not holding myself back from doing collectibles and basically the rest of the stuff that I wanted to do in the game. So I progressed through chapter 2, and I think I'm basically going to try to just beat the game, and then I'll go back and do all the collectibles and stuff at the end because I just want to get through. I got one of the, I have two of the missable trophies in the game. So one of them is Errand Boy. The other one is, what the hell is it? The gang box. Give to the poor. Yeah, that one. The one I made a guide for. There's that one. Give to the poor, Errand Boy, and then the other one that's missable. I think the only other one that's missable is where is it? Where it at? Where it at? Friends with Benefits. So I am in chapter 3 right now. I've done another companion activity, so I just need to get to chapter 4 and do a companion activity, and I'll have that trophy, so that's not that big of a deal. I guess technically lending a hand is missable as well if you miss some of those missions, but I haven't been missing them, so I've been on top of those. But yeah, Red Dead 2's been amazing. It's been the only game that I've been playing since really it came out. I haven't been playing anything else. I did play the Guitar Hero Live like last weekend and got that one trophy, and I've been meaning to go back and actually just finish Guitar Hero Live up, but I've really just been putting a lot of time into Red Dead 2, really enjoying the game. If you haven't picked it up, I would highly suggest it. I know I went on a rant last week about, well, if you haven't played Red Dead 1, you shouldn't play Red Dead 2. Whatever, man. At the end of the day, whatever. I would highly suggest getting the game if you haven't, or finding a way to get the game, because it's an amazing game. Let's just say that. It is an amazing game, and like I said, it's just all I've really been putting my time into, and that's all I've been playing last week. So what do I plan on doing this week? Well, not much of a change. I plan on doing Red Dead 2. I mean, that's my goal, is to do Red Dead 2 this week and kind of get through that. I want to try to get through the story, do all the missable stuff, and do all of that while the game is fresh. But I still want to, well, if I could type here, that'd be pretty cool. But I don't want to miss anything. And the reason I was kind of taking my time to get through the chapter 2 was because I wanted to, we'll get to that in a second. I was kind of waiting to see what all these chuckleheads were going to do about these missable animals and stuff. So if you don't know, there's this trophy in the game. It's for like skinning all animals, and so skin deep, skinning every type of animal in zoologist, which is to study every animal across all states. So there's been question with the language here, skinning every species, whether that is like actually every animal or every species, meaning like skin a snake, skin a, whatever, horse, or dog, whatever, you know what I'm saying, not like specifically like skin this boa, and then this one and this one. So there's been some question about verbiage here and just language of the trophy, and then zoologist was pretty easy. I mean, you just have to study all the animals in the states. Now, I'm sure everyone knows that in Red Dead 2, you go to an area on the map for one of the chapters that isn't in the States, so those animals actually don't count and it's been confirmed. It got confirmed a few days ago that they don't even count for either one of the trophies or the 100%. So basically, people wasted a lot of time studying that and realized that it wasn't even a thing that you had to worry about. So if you don't know, I work a full-time job. I don't do YouTube for a living, surprisingly. So when I was at my job and everything, I'm only playing this game in my free time, making guides in my free time. So all these people that are doing all this studying and all this and all that, they basically, the way I look at it is they really have no life. I mean, they're sitting here playing the game for probably 16 hours a day and not doing anything else. So my thought was, let's let them do the research, figure out what works and what doesn't work, and then once they figure it out, then I'll do it. And that'll be that. I mean, I'm not going to make a guide on it because I don't think it needs a guide with a lot of other stuff in this game, which I feel like it's pretty straightforward. Even though some of it is missable, it's pretty straightforward. And hopefully I can get around to making a how to platinum on it and really just walk people through how to get the platinum through the single player aspect. But yeah, these people that basically have all this free time throughout the day that I really don't have. I wish I had, but I don't have. I let them kind of play through the game and decide what was missable and what wasn't missable. Are they getting the trophies before me? Yeah, but at the end of the day, I don't really care as long as I get the trophy. So, yeah, that was kind of my goal, and that's kind of why I was sitting back and staying in Chapter 2 to see if I was going to miss anything. I could have progressed to Chapter 4 and then waited to go to that Guarma section of the map, but, oh my lord. But I decided not to do that, just stay in Chapter 2. Do as much as I can and then go from there. But now I'm progressing to Chapter 4 and so on and so forth. So, yeah, again, it's a really amazing game. I would highly suggest it if you haven't got it already. But that's going to be my goal this week, is kind of getting through the story and getting through everything so I can start making the rest of the guides for collectibles and challenges. Because basically I'm trying to make guides for everything in the game. Anything you need for the 100%, I want to make a guide for. Challenges. The only thing I wanted to make a guide on, but I don't think I'm going to make a guide on now, is animal stuff. So I'm going to make a guide on the legendary animals and the legendary fish and everything, but I was going to make a guide on basically where to find every animal in the game. But I feel like there's enough articles and there's enough stuff around the internet that it's not even worth making, because it would end up being like a 1 to 2 hour video, and it probably wouldn't be worth it at the end of the day. I mean, I'm already making a all weapon location guide, because you need 48 weapons for the 100%, and there's 50 some in the game. So I'm already making a guide on how to get basically every weapon in the game, and that's at about 45 minutes, and I still have about 15 weapons to get to finish that. So it's still a significant amount of weapons, and it's already a pretty long video. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with. And like I said, I anticipated on making guides for all that stuff, but it just came down to, it's probably going to take too much time. It probably won't be worth my time at the end of the day, and I really didn't want to put myself through it, because I enjoy making guides. I enjoy making trophy guides. I enjoy making collectible guides. If I didn't enjoy doing it, I wouldn't do it. That's just what it comes down to. But there's a limit that I'll go to, and that was the limit. I don't want to sacrifice my enjoyment of the game in order to make a guide and get a few extra dollars at the end of the day, because that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to, this video will get me at most probably a couple hundred, couple thousand views. It's going to end up being a couple dollars in my pocket, and that's going to be that. And I don't want to ruin my experience in the game for that, because that's what it's going to come down to. I'm constantly going to be thinking in my head, oh, I need to record that animal kill. Oh, I needed to do that. Oh, I need to edit this video, because it's not just recording the footage, it's also then putting it into a video and editing it in a way that is visually pleasing and you can understand, because anyone can make a guide, anyone can capture the footage and throw it into a video and call it a day, right? But there is a fine art of editing a guide where you need to provide the right amount of information in the guide, in the video, whether it be commentary. In my case, usually it's text overlap. So there's a fine line there that you have to tread on getting that done. And honestly, I didn't want to put myself through the headache of all of the animals, because if you don't know, another thing, the animals, there's 180 something animals. So the way I looked at it was, even if I spend 30 seconds per an animal, like you would usually do, a collectible in a game usually takes 30 seconds to capture the footage for the collectible. That's usually an average. So if there's 200 collectibles in the game, you're going to average that it's going to be about 30 seconds of collectible. So it's going to be about a 100-minute guide, which is an hour 40 minutes for 200 collectibles. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but on average, that's what it ends up being. So even if I was to do that for these animals, with 180 animals or whatever it is, 30 seconds an animal, you're talking an hour and a half guide just for the animals. And would it really be worth it? And 30 seconds is a minimum. I mean, at reasonably, like, it would probably be more like a minute for an animal. And the other part is hunting in the game is more like, it's very luck-based. It's the same thing with gambling and everything of that, and that's why I kind of dread making the gambling challenges, because it's extremely luck-based. So, yeah, that's just what I ended up deciding. It's not worth it at the end of the day. I'll do guides for the challenges, the hunting challenges. I'll do guides for the legendary animals. But a guide for every animal in the game to get those trophies, I feel like it's a little too much. Just a little too much. It was the same thing with doing the missable trophies in the game. I could have made a guide and showed you guys the 5 that I did for the errand boy, and I could have showed you one activity per chapter for the friends with benefits, but it seems pretty self-explanatory, especially with the errand boy, and, well, both of them are self-explanatory. Errand boy, like, literally every time you do a mission, a main story mission, go back to the camp, and you'll probably get an item request from somebody. Or you might get one in the mission. You get a lot of item requests if you just go back to the camp. The way you miss that is if you just never go back to your camp and you never talk to anybody and you just blow through the story. You'll 100% miss it there. But if you go back to the camp between every mission, you talk with people, you mingle, you play some poker, you do some side stuff, you'll more than likely get 5 item requests through doing that. And most of them are pretty easy. You'll probably just pick the stuff up as you go along. So it's not like any of them are like super difficult. And for the friends with benefits, doing a companion activity in each chapter, or doing a companion activity at each camp. Basically, there's a new camp during each chapter up to chapter 5. So Chapter 2, 3, and 4 are all at different camps, so you have to complete a companion activity within each chapter. You're more than likely going to do it because they just show up as like side missions on the map, so you're probably just going to do it naturally, so it's not really that missable. Again, the only way you would miss that is if all you're doing is paying attention to the yellow circles, the yellow missions, like the main missions, and you're not worrying about anything else, which at that point, why are you playing the game? I mean, I guess if you want to. But yeah, that's just my little rant about why I wanted to make guides on this stuff, but I pulled back because I just felt like it wasn't worth it, and it would be more confusing than it would be helpful. And if that's the case, I stay away from. Don't make guide. No guide for that. So yeah, my goal is Red Dead 2 this week. Try to get through at least get through the main story this week, which I think is doable. Get through the main story, worry about the honor missions, all the side missions and stuff. Really the stuff that that's missable, I want to pay attention to, and side missions and stuff I want to pay attention to. But doing like challenges and collectibles and stuff, I'm going to put that off till I beat the story, just because I feel like it'll be more helpful just to do everything at once at the end instead of trying to scatter around, do some here, do some there. So that's just my take on that. So I want to get through the main story this week in Red Dead 2. That's the goal. After Red Dead 2 is done, my single-player focus, I would like to go back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, since that's really what I was focusing on before Red Dead 2 came out. But honestly, my main focus will probably be Guitar Hero Live, and that'll probably be after, I don't know. I want to do Guitar Hero Live. I want to get it fully done before the servers go down at the beginning of December, so that gives me 4 weeks. It's doable. I can probably knock out the rest of the trophies in a weekend, if I just try. So it's not too bad. I just have to actually play it. But right now I don't really want to focus on it because I just want to focus on Red Dead 2. And that's just the story of my life with everything else. I mean, I have a list of games that I would like to do. Odyssey, Guitar Hero Live, go back to World at War, Destiny 2 DLC, all these games in the server right here. Like, I would like to focus on all these. But with Red Dead 2, I would really like to get through the main story and then start to roll out guides for other stuff here and there. I would love to put guides out for this game day one, like people like Power PYX and PS4 Trophies doing, basically all the bigger people. But when it comes down to it, I just physically cannot do it because I get the game the same day as everyone else on day one. I don't get an early copy of the game. I work a full-time job, 40 hours a week, so I can only spend maximum 5-6 hours a day playing. I can't spend 16, 17, 18. You know, I can't spend all this time playing the game. I have minimal amount of time to play the game. So I would love to get stuff out faster. But when it comes down to it, there's only so much time in the day, and I only have so much energy to get through and do all this stuff. So I try to balance it. And sometimes it turns out bad. Sometimes it turns out good. Most of the time it turns out bad. I usually fall asleep. But yeah, that's my little spiel about me wanting to get Red Dead 2 stuff out faster. But when it comes down to it, I'm just a normal human being, and I can only handle so much. But yeah, my goal is to play all these games, all these multiplayer games, but we'll see what ends up happening. This video was a little longer than I wanted it to be. I thought this would only be a few minutes because I really only played Red Dead 2 this week, and that was all I planned on playing this upcoming week. I didn't think I would talk about too much other stuff, but, you know, we can get sidetracked every once in a while. I know people like to listen to this stuff when they're boosting games and stuff. They say they like to listen to longer videos, so, I mean, if you wanna do that type of stuff, we can do that type of stuff. Nothing's really been going on in the community this week, new game-wise. I don't think anything's coming out this week too big. I don't think. I haven't heard. I could be mistaken. I don't really pay attention to. I pre-order games, but I don't really pay attention to when they come out. Yeah, I know, first world problems, huh? I don't even know when I'm, paying for games at this point. But yeah. Don't know if there's anything big coming out. Nothing really has been going on in the community recently other than Red Dead 2. It's been the big topic. Missable stuff in Red Dead 2. That's been like the huge topic. So yeah, there's that. I guess I'll end on this. So this is a spreadsheet in Google Sheets. If you guys don't know me, I love Google Sheets. I like using Excel and stuff. I'm pretty good with it. So I like to make Google Sheets for basically every game I play, whether it be online, offline, single player, whatever. I usually like to make a Google Sheet to kind of keep track of what I'm doing and everything. So this is a Google Sheet that I started to develop for the 100% Red Dead 2. It goes for the 100%, but it also does missable side missions. I'm working on the errands over here and how to do that. But basically, this is something that I want to develop. I'm developing it with cats right now. And what we're doing is it's basically going to walk you through the 100% for the game and also help you with anything that's missable in the game as well. So it's not out. We haven't released it to everyone yet because we're personally not done with it. So basically what it's going to do is in here, this is everything you need for the 100%. It's going to link you to my trophy guides for the game that I make. It'll link you straight to the lists of everything down here. And then we have these are all check boxes. So like if you complete 5 bounties, you check that boy off. It doesn't calculate the percentage. I could get it to do that, but I don't really want to go through that. But you got all these check boxes, and then in here you have missable side missions, errands, which I want to do, strangers that you can come across. And the cool thing is over here it'll say, where is it? 10 stranger mission strands, right? So if I go to strangers and down here you'll see it'll update it, so if I check off 10 of these, boom, we got 10 complete, and then I go back to the 100%, automatically fills out that 100% for you. So this is something that Katz and I are developing. We want to kind of give as much information as possible. So when we're done with this and we've fully developed it, it'll be out for everyone. So if you haven't, I'm assuming if you've played Red Dead 2, you have probably been looking into all this stuff. But if you haven't played Red Dead 2, hopefully this will be out to everyone by the time you get it. We want to do it within the next few weeks, but it basically has everything. So animals, equipment, fish, horses, plants, weapons, challenges, legendary animals. It has everything that you'll more likely need to get through the game, and it also has stuff for the animals, where you can find them, what the animal is, if you've profiled, skinned, or killed and skinned it, all that. So it's pretty useful. I think it'll be pretty useful, but it's not live yet. So it's still in the works, but when it's live, I'll let everyone know. And that's been another thing that I've kind of been working on, just because this is a really big game. There's a few missable things, and there's a lot to do. So I'm trying to help out as much as possible. And I know video guides aren't always the most helpful. So something like an interactable 100% checklist in Google is probably a little more helpful than watching guides sometimes. And it links to my guides anyway, so if you're having troubles, you just go watch one of those guides and boom, it's a win-win for everyone. Anyway, that's that. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to give it a like. Down in the description below, you'll find all types of links to stuff. My Twitter, my Twitch, which I haven't streamed on in a while because I've been playing Red Dead 2 a lot and capturing footage for guides. You'll find probably a link to like all my platinum trophies that I've gotten and all this other stuff. So if you want to go follow me on any of that other stuff or watch some more videos, all that is linked down in the description below. So be sure to check that out. Down in the comments below, let me know what you guys have been playing. If you've been playing Red Dead 2, if you enjoy it, if you have any problems with it, if you have any gripes about it. The biggest gripe I have with Red Dead 2 is just how realistic it is. It can be pretty annoying to worry about your cores and when I need to sleep and all that other stuff. That can be pretty annoying, but for the most part, I really do enjoy the game. So yeah, let me know down below what you've been playing or what you plan on playing and any of that jazz. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, like I said, give it a like. If you're still listening and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, and I hope to see you all around sometime soon.